Hello, everybody, it's SLUSHIE, and today we're going to be checking out one of my favorite films in horror, period. So that's going to be Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 from 1990.
Some tales are told, then soon forgotten. But a legend is forever. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Okay, so I remember watching this when I was a kid. It appeared on AMC or Sci-Fi, one of those two channels, and I was completely into it. I mean, I think I was like 7, maybe 8. Um, and this film just pulled me in. So this is, by the way, one of the most criminally underrated films in horror history. Um, it's just, it's crazy that people dog this film so much. What I mean by dog is basically people just hate on it unnecessarily. Like, no, I've never really seen a legitimate complaint because people often use the fact that it doesn't have a ton of blood in it. And, that's a fact. There is not a ton of blood in this. There was a lot of studio meddling that took out a lot of the violence in this film for whatever reason. I think it was to avoid X rating, which, if you know X rating, that's basically the rating for, like, you know, I'm not gonna get into that. That'd make this video really weird. But so it would have gotten X rating and it would have been banned in I think the UK and other countries like that. So they took it down to an R, which took out a shit ton of violence. Like, I mean, a shit ton. And basically, that's people's one complaint for the movie. I think this movie has a lot more positives than negatives. Like, I can look past the whole studio meddling, lack of blood, because it's incredibly entertaining. The guy that plays Leatherface, R.A. Mihailov, he's incredible as Leatherface. He's got the perfect build. The mask that he wears is fantastic. I do, however, wish that you could see him put on several different masks. I've always wanted to see the whole process, which we actually get to see in the later movies, like the '03 remake, the '06 film, 2013, 2017. Definitely could have been increased by including at least one more mask. Like, have him wear one more mask in this film would be even better. But director Jeff Burr directed this film, obviously. He crafted a very decent film, especially for a series that um, is really well done. Like, all the films in this series, besides like two, are spectacular, right? So I'm not going to get into a ranking, but this one's definitely high up there with 2013, the original, of course, that's my favorite, and the '03 remake. And of course, this sits right there behind those. And it's incredibly entertaining. Again, very well acted. It's cheesy at points, but of course, it's a 1990 film. It's gonna have cheesiness into it. I mean, what would a slasher film like this be like without a little bit of cheesiness included? After a film like TCM2, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, it's easier to say it abbreviated. Believe me. Um, they had to like do something with it, right? Because it TCM2, if you guys have seen it, is incredibly cheesy, like super fucking cheesy, beyond and beyond insanity type of cheesiness. Okay, like, it blows your mind. So much cheesiness, so much goofiness, and just a very odd portrayal of Leatherface. I don't hate TCM2, but it's just not my favorite. But this one, God, it's a return to form for the series for sure after the cheesiness from part two. And again, I don't hate part two. I want to make that clear. Just a fantastic fucking film, and it saddens me to see how many people hate on it for the dumbest of reasons. Is it a perfect film? No, it's not. There's no perfect film, but it's definitely as good as you can get it. Being that it's a sequel to one of the most iconic films in history, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It sort of kind of sweeps the second film under the rug because it gets like a new family, like new characters and everything, which is cool because, like I said, not the biggest fan of TCM2. Not that it's bad, it's just not my favorite. Um, but god damn it, it's such an amazing film. If you haven't seen TCM3 or Leatherface TCM3, give it a shot. Like, don't listen to the reviews. You might come out of this hating it like some people do. And that's your opinion. I'm not going to be upset. I honestly would be happier if you did give it a shot, even if you did end up hating it, at least you gave it a fair shot. I love seeing people do that, even if they have a pre-bias going into it, like, oh, it's going to be complete shit. Go into it, just completely wipe your mind of any thoughts you might have about it, and then give it a watch. And I guarantee you're going to love it a lot more than those people who go in just absolutely shitting on it from the beginning. You might really enjoy this. Even with all the blood that's been cut out of this film, it's a very, very well done film. And if a film doesn't need to rely on blood, like the likes of Halloween, Halloween had like not a drop of blood. And it's one of the most iconic films in history. This film also doesn't have a ton of blood in it. Doesn't need it. I mean, it's a TCM film. The first film, first Texas Chainsaw film, was very unviolent. In fact, the problem is TCM 2 had a lot more blood and gore into it, so people expected more for this. And of course, you're going to be let down in that aspect, but it's just a solid film. And I'm happy that this is going to be the one starting off my October movie reviews. So I know that I don't know if I said this, but I planned originally to do all the Conjuring films first, like every single Conjuring film, then do a ranking. But that's going to change now because it's going to take me a decent amount of time to get all those films out. So over the course of October, I'll be putting them out, maybe even double videos in a day. So that way I can get the Conjuring series pumped out. That includes Annabelle, The Conjuring 2, and all the Annabelle sequels, of course, and The Nun, which actually I think I've already done a review of The Nun, but also Curse of La Llorona. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably fucking butchering it, but whatever. Yeah, anyways, TCM3, I got to give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. Again, it's not perfect, but for what it is, I've always loved it. As a kid, loved it. Teen years, loved it. As an adult, I've loved it. And I'll never change my opinion on this. Jeff Burr and crew did a fantastic job, but fuck New Line Cinema for getting too involved into this film. Had they stayed out of this, it could have been even better than what it is, but doesn't take away anything for me. Like the blood doesn't take anything away. I don't care if it doesn't have a single drop of blood. It could still be just as good. You don't need blood, to identify your movie or to give it a certain image. You can make a movie without blood and have it still be fucking amazing. And Jeff Burr proves it here. But that's my review of TCM3, and I'm fucking sticking to it. Now, if you hate TCM3, go ahead and fuck yourself. I'm kidding. Leave your thoughts on this film down below. Even if you hate it, I promise I don't get butthurt over this kind of shit. It's just a movie. We all have our own opinions. But also, if you've enjoyed it, let me know down below. If you haven't seen it, the fuck are you waiting for? Go watch it. And then come back to me and tell me your opinions down below. Fuck. And yeah. Which horror movie would you like to see me review next? I'll give you some options. Conjuring 2, The Hunt, or Doctor Sleep. Let me know down below which one you'd like to see more. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.